Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ABL Worlds. We have 3 games for you today. Kicking things off in just a couple of moments is going to be US Army Esports taking on Rise Esports. Then at 9 p.m. we have Lakeside Gaming taking on Grim Legion Esports. And then finally at 10 p.m. Ascentia Sentinels versus Conviction. 3 best of 1s, Swift. And this should be a fantastic set of games.
Very much so. Just in case you didn't know, it is I, Swift. I'll be the color caster for the night, alongside me, Milky Cereal, who is your wonderful play-by-play and gave us that amazing introduction to the games that we're going to have for the rest of the night. But as we're sitting here waiting for the first game to start, just waiting on the teams to get into the client, because it's just acting a bit buggy. But after that, we should be getting into the games relatively quickly.
Yeah, 10th anniversary lags and all of that coming in. Hopefully it won't affect any of the games at all. As I mentioned, US Army Esports take on Rise Esports for the first game of the evening. Let's just run you through both of the teams for Rise Esports. We have a Dragonblade in the top lane, J Galaxy in the jungle, Evil Dragful mid lane, Sanctus ADC, and Toxic Cat support. For US Army Esports, Porkchop in the top lane, Valencia jungle, Alacrity in the mid lane, Talented in the ADC role, and that's OP support. However, Swift.
Yep.
Patch 9.20, what are the exciting picks that we can expect to see getting either picked or banned?
Well, I'd say for the most recent patch, I wouldn't be surprised if some teams are deciding to pick out Victor. Victor did have a couple bit of buffs coming through. Syndra ADC as well has been picked quite a number of times. I think she's been coming into prominence with some of the ADCs that have been picked more recently, like the Kaisas and the Zayas, where they definitely want to get to sort of 2 item power spikes, and Syndra can definitely come online a lot faster than that. And then I guess some other picks to look out for. Karma isn't in a bad spot at all, and then also ADCs, you can't go wrong with Kaisa and Zaya, as I previously stated. These 2 are probably going to be pick banned most of the games, if not all, that we see throughout the night.
Yeah, and I also want to go to those champs that have been somewhat reworked. Pardon me. Of course, you mentioned how the Victor has been buffed. That was one of the bigger ones in patch 9.20. But of course, the Garen and the Shaco as well. How likely do you think we might be seeing either of those sneaking their way through?
I think they could very well sneak their way through. I think Shaco support's been pretty strong. I've had to play against him once or twice, and it can be rather annoying with all the damage coming out from his boxes. And Garen, when you build him with Triforce and PD specifically, which I've seen quite often, he becomes sort of this he's just like a pseudo tank that's building damage, and it just becomes really difficult, or at least annoying, to have to deal with if he gets any sort of a lead in the top lane. So if someone's been secretly putting a couple dozen games on the Garen and just suddenly became a Garen one trick, I wouldn't be surprised that they would opt to look for it.
Well, another pick that we've been seeing a lot in the actual League of Legends world scene has been this Kayle pick. Everyone was hyping up Fiora, but Kayle suddenly just kept on coming up in picks and in bans, and that is going to get banned away by the side of US Army Esports. Another pick that I want to mention is Pantheon, which I believe is at 100% ban rate in Worlds, as well as we see the Shaco and the Yuumi bans coming through.
Yeah, I'd say Pantheon is definitely a threat that could come up in this draft, and as you said, that 100% pick ban rate in Worlds just goes to show that even though he's kind of seen as weak solo key-wise, where games can kind of drag on, they're really uncoordinated, that ultimate that he has and just the pure damage that he has early on in the game, it can be really devastating if he ends up getting picked. And Kayle, as you said before, that Kleptomancy just coming back thanks to Naguri, I should say. A lot of people have been playing Kayle in these klepto-abusing champs like Vlad and Kennen, and they've all had their time to shine, whether it be in top lane or even mid lane at points.
Caitlyn locked in for Talented. The Morgana and the Thresh are available as well if they want to pair up, if they want to create that power duo in the bot lane. As a Renekton getting locked in for most likely Dragonblade, but of course that can get flexed down to Lights Out in the mid lane.
Yeah, Renekton's been really flexible in the past couple of patches. Especially, I think Faker, about like a month or so ago, started playing Renekton mid, and people realized that, yeah, this is a guy that's been incredibly dominant up in the top lane and has pretty much no way to lose lane unless you camp this guy. You can flex him out in the mid lane, and he does just as well into people like mages that don't have that much mobility to keep up with him. So definitely a first pick threat, and then as we see in Worlds, a lot of times teams end up banning Quinn just to give that first pick Renekton a time to shine, because you can pick nearly nothing into Renekton and feel comfortable in the laning phase at any point. So definitely a threat to look out for it into the rest of this draft, especially if he ends up going mid lane. I wonder what they decide to pick into it.
Well, it's going to be the Caitlyn Morgana in the bot lane, and the Gnar locked in for Duris. Going back to what you were saying about Renekton, actually, makes a lot of sense. You know, Faker plays it's probably good, but then again, you remember sometimes Faker just plays like Ymid, and he makes that work, and you're like,
yeah,
okay. So with that Kai'Sa locked in, maybe we could be seeing something like the Nautilus to come through, or maybe just that Braum, and is going to be hovered and locked in. So you've got the let's get Kai'Sa to the late game, and well, if we land a Dark Binding, someone's going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's like once after the first back, I'd say Caitlyn Morgana, if Caitlyn has a BF sword or even a pickaxe, one binding can pretty much kill you. Just the amount of damage Caitlyn can dish out with her nets, with her trap combos, with her Q. It's just way too much damage for almost anyone to withstand, and at least with this Braum, say if a Stray Binding does land, gets threaded through the minion somewhat, and hits Kai'Sa, you can at least block a majority of that damage with that Unbreakable from Braum, so definitely looking to see if we can get this Kai'Sa out of the lane phase.
An interaction I do want to talk about, though, Swift, as the Olaf is banned away by US Army eSports. The Renekton Slice and Dice, it cuts through any shield instantly. For example, the Echo Shield. Does the same thing apply to the Morgana Black Shield, though?
I would assume it. I would think it does. I'm no Renekton player, sadly enough. I'm not out here abusing LP for the sake of, just picking Renekton. But I would be definitely interested in seeing how that interaction would work, because I know that recent buff, say matchups like Riven into Renekton have become a lot more challenging because of that buff to Renekton. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't think it'll stop the stun, but I think it might as well break that shield, because I don't see any reason as to why it wouldn't.
The TF and the Gragas are the final bans. Just the mid and the jungle left to be picked by both teams here. And we wait to see what Rise will pick, and it's going to be the Lee Sin in the jungle. So nice aggressive early game jungler, maybe going to be putting a lot of effort and a lot of attention towards this Renekton in the top side.
Yeah, if you can get this Renekton snowballing, might as well do it now, because from what I looked at from the preseason patch notes, they're getting rid of Shojin, so abuse that while you can, Renekton players, because at this point, I mean, it seems like Renekton, or at least people are noticing that Renekton is becoming quite a problem. You can play him in 2 lanes and have just the same amount of dominance. So, if you're that Lee Sin, go for it.
The Skarner getting picked up, and for my eyes anyway, I'm looking at this US Army eSports composition here, and I'm just noticing the split push from the Gnar in a side lane, and then a massive pick comp, which is only kind of further shown with the Malzahar hover.
Yeah, okay. Now we're just gonna hover double suppression. Is that what's cool?
Yep.
It's like,
okay, there you go.
Okay, Veigar.
Pull them into a wall, even better.
Even better. Now, just at least with the Veigar, it gives you a lot of flexibility. You want to play around certain objectives. His event horizon is pretty deadly as far as closing off choke points or isolating a fight. It could be really beneficial, and especially it's like someone like Skarner, if he can get him into the event horizon, or at least give someone for Skarner to just walk into an event horizon and pull, it just makes team fights a lot trickier to play around, let alone with a Gnar. Oh my god, imagine a Gnar event horizon combo. Nice.
Oh.
Jeez. Nice.
Just 5-man, just swipe them into an event horizon. Okay, the Syndra locked in, and I kind of like this from the side of Rise, because you've got the Syndra who everyone knows, everyone keeps talking about how just has so much push potential. Veigar's not going to surely can't do much against that in the early phases. This Syndra should be able to roam around, maybe join J Galaxy, either roaming to the top lane or to that bot lane.
Hmm. Yeah, Syndra is definitely going to have the upper hand as far as the early game, as you mentioned. Hopefully, if she can sort of snowball and maybe move up in the top or bot lane, depending on how the waves are going to be, because we already know that Caitlyn Morgana is more than likely going to have the shove in that lane. So definitely just something to look out for. And as we said before, she spikes relatively early, especially with like a lost chapter. So definitely going to see if she decides to roam out or maybe even abuse this Veigar in the early game, which is obviously his weakest point because this man scales like a monster.
Yeah. Because when we do look to the top lane as well, Dura should be having an okay time just because of that Gnar range. Should just be able to manage the distance to Dragon Blade on that Renekton. But when we look to the Lee Sin versus the Skarner comp, Lee Sin a bit more aggressive in that early game, so surely we'll see a bit more presence from him.
Yeah, it's definitely said the 2v2 coming out from the mid and jungle. You're definitely going to have that advantage with a Lee Sin Syndra compared to a Skarner Veigar. I feel like if Lee Sin plays it properly, he should be able to zone off Skarner off of a lot of the early sort of skirmishes that you want to go for, like say for Rift Scuttle or even for Vision when it comes to like the Vision plants once they spawn up. So I would hope that Lee Sin takes that into consideration and sort of accelerates his gold as much as he can, because once it gets to sort of mid-game team fights, we all know if Lee Sin's behind, he's pretty much just like a kick machine. It's just waiting to find someone. So
I was actually talking to a team coach recently about Lee Sin, and he was mentioning how always before we had the, is the Lee Sin going to be going for Electrocute, or is he going for more of a late game Conqueror? But the guy was saying that apparently now you just always go Conqueror on Lee Sin because it's better both early and late, and he was saying some stuff about it, but I wasn't listening.
yeah, it's all fine. But yeah, I'd have to agree with that sort of thought process, because Conquer on its own, just the true damage is sort of negligible in the early game, doesn't really give you much, but that healing in conjunction with his base healing on his W, like his second activation of his W, it just makes it so much harder to 1v1 him in a duel no matter where you are on the map. And even if it's the slightest bit of healing, even if it's the slightest bit of true damage, after you add it up quite a number of times, I think that's what vastly outweighs the benefits of an Electrocute that we know for a fact is going to sort of fall off the later the game goes.
US Army eSports. The pick composition taking on Rise eSports team fight composition. Game 1 of the day. We're going to be heading into a short break, but we'll be right back with both teams making their way onto the rift. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a little bit. Welcome back, folks, for game 1 of the day for ABL Worlds US Army Esports, taking on Rise Esports. Rise on the red side, as you can see, and US Army on the blue side. If you haven't already, do hit us up with a follow and maybe even a nice little subscription. All of the proceeds from subscriptions go towards the production, so we get to feel cool and professional that we got some money. So if you have done that, thank you very much. However, heading into this game though, Swift, this is going to be big, and we're already heading in with an invade. Can the Dark Binding land? Oh, the sidestep from Dragonblade will keep him safe.
Yep, no flash blown. Thanks to him, now there's not going to be some random early lead on a Vigar, and that's the last thing you want. Or even a Caitlyn. But see Rise going for that early vision. They've invaded that red side, and they are warding it up like nobody's business. They do spot out the Lee Sin, though.
Yep, and US Army Esports will get a little ward of their own in the enemy side, as the Dark Binding can't quite land. Glacial Augment Veiga is... I kind of transition between Veiga and Vigar. Glacial Augment Veiga is here, so that's going to be a little bit annoying for the side of Rise Esports. Both junglers, though, looking to start on their red buffs.
Yeah, it's like you see Rise, they obviously went for getting 2 wards instead of 1. Never mind, they got 2 wards and they spotted them out.
And they steal it! Oh, he got it! He actually stole it!
I'd be heated. I'm fuming right now.
Oh my god. I can just see J Galaxy like, oh, there's a Gnar, and then the Veigar comes in, and it's like, oh no. Oh, but Gank already in the mid lane, lights out, forced to flash. Can they find the damage? No, they can't. But I'm sure US Army will be very happy. They steal the red buff, and they get the flash out of the mid lane.
Yeah, nice aggression coming out from the side of the US Army. I mean, they got both red buffs, one on a Veigar, one onto Skarner. I was gonna bring up that I was like, hey, maybe Skarner might go for an early pack and get those Herder boots. They said, nah, we hit level 2 and we're ganking mid.
Meanwhile, Dragonblade has hit level 2. Oh, as a Dark Binding not quite going to be able to find its mark. Neither will the Void Seeker. This Toxic Cat just a little bit low, as that's going to be a trap. The Unbreakable comes through to prevent any further damage onto Sanctus. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Valencia looking for the gank, the hop forward, and Darius is just going to get a little bit of poke down with that feisty little critter.
Yeah, if only if it was level 3, that hyper passive does an incredible amount of damage even early on. At least if I'm Dragonblade, I'm thankful that that is not the case. Ooh, a nice block coming out from Talented, denying that cannon. Yeah, definitely trying to put Sanctus behind as much as possible here. But that's just a Caitlyn Morgana lane for you. After a while, it just gets annoying.
And it's me that's OP. If he can just find those Dark Bindings, it's gonna be looking really, really bad for Rise. But the focus now surely going to be around this mid lane for the side of US Army Esports. They've got the red buff on Alacrity, and surely they're just going to want to punish Lights Out as much as they can. It's a flash event. Horizon comes in. The Skarner's making his way, but it might be a little bit too late. Can Lights Out actually get out of this? They get the slow. They get the CC. Is there enough damage? No, there is not. The Baleful Strike can't find it, but the Lee Sin is here. J Galaxy, and that's going to be the Void Seeker to pick up first blood. Alacrity has nowhere to go, but the Event Horizon will keep enough distance between him and J Galaxy. Just the one kill, and it's on Sanctus. It's on Sanctus on the Kai'Sa.
Shout out to Lights Out, keeping his cool. He got caught into the Event Horizon, but he was able to, I guess, stall them out long enough to sort of walk in and out of that Event Horizon and back to his tower. Baited out that Skarner to make him take so much more damage than he needs to, and that cleanup coming in from the Kai'Sa and the Lee Sin, just definitely how you want to start out an early game.
Yeah, and
there it is. The E, nice Void Seeker coming out right onto there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sadly they didn't get the Veigar as well, but
Dark Binding finds his mark, but Lee Sin's here. He's going to be able to find the Sonic Wave. Flash away from that OP, steps onto a trap. J Galaxy will just about stay alive as the Dark Binding can't find his mark. The Ignite taking onto that OP, but nobody will fall somehow. And now Valencia wants to join in the party, but he's going to have to be careful as the bot lane is on a knife's edge right now. Here we go, he's going to get hit by the Winter's Bite. We're looking for Sanctus, but will back off. Will actually find the Q. but that's about it.
Quite a bit of damage coming out, as you said. Both bot lanes relatively low talented. Does still in fact have heal, so he could have. I guess he was trying to look for a bait of sorts, maybe forcing Sanctus to step up for an extra auto or two. Nice trading coming out there from Lights Out as well. Chunking about half of his HP with just a Dark Seal to his inventory.
So meanwhile, in the top lane, the hop forward, but he can't quite get off that third stack on the Hyper.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage coming out from Dragon Blade. He only has a longsword to his name as far as damage goes, but that full combo definitely chunks.
Oh, Jay, Galaxy is here. This is exactly what we wanted to see from both junglers. As we cut over to the bot side, nothing quite happening. And nothing happened in the top side either, as Darius was able just to back off without having to burn his flash.
Yeah, that stun opening up very early.
Oh no, here we go. Darius doesn't have Mega Knight and he's forced to flash away. The Boomerang Blade flash forward, got up the Mig! Dragon Blade picks up the kill.
Yeah, only so much you can do. The flash stun coming out from Dragon Blade, definitely anticipating how much damage he is going to do to this Gnar. Now he's going to regret it. You have Renekton with a gold lead, with a kill, and up on CS. Not looking bueno.
And this is what we were talking about in the draft phase. I remember I was saying that, you know, Darius on this Gnar can keep the range gap as all. Out comes the ult. Unleash Power doesn't quite do it. The Sonic Wave misses by a hair. Alacrity getting very close to dying for a second time. But all's well that ends well, I guess. And he'll just back off and pick up the Dark Seal. Now has 2 Doran's Rings and a Dark Seal in the mid lane. And definitely 2 Amplifying Tones. Just get 2 of everything.
2 of everything. It's a buy one, get one free sale I heard at the shop.
Yes. That's what happens when you have Riot 10th anniversary. You can just buy 2 of everything now. It's perfect if you're playing Jhin with your 6 IE build.
Oh my, it's just... Now you're speaking my language. Speaking of 2 of everything, Kai'Sa sitting on double pickaxe. Seems like she's going to go for more of that, I guess, early spike on her Q evolve. Yeah, that Cathy and Rain evolve. Definitely want to go soar into like a Guinsoo's and potentially into IE. That's what I've seen quite a bit of Kai'Sa's do. Is that they
Sonic Wave finds the smart. Sorry to cut you off there. Oh, he's got to follow. The Lee Syndrome comes in, and I don't quite know what that Dragon Rage kick was, but dominance exerted, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he has to assert his dominance. He's like, hey, man, I will be in this lane, whether I choose to be it or not. Okay. So...
Valencia, though, is in a lane, and it is the bot lane. He has a Predator available, and more importantly, he has the Impale. Lee Sin has backed and will be making his way to his bot side camps, it looks like. And Valencia just going to back off for now.
Yeah, as I was saying before, double pickaxe, as far as Kai'Sa goes, you can definitely build it into Manimune, which is a decent item for her. It stacks really well. But when you need sort of that upfront damage on the team,
oh no, that OP misses the Dark Binding and he gets punished for it. Sanctus picks up the kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Mega Knight comes out. Dragon's Blade gets poked down. He has the dominance available, so Darius will have to be very careful. But with the support down for US Army eSports, the Mountain Drake could be the focus for Rice. Toxic Cat going to step up, take this control ward. Has to be careful. Alacrity going to get hit by the Sonic Wave. A fantastically timed flash will get Alacrity out of a very sticky situation as the hop forward. The turnaround from Dragon Blade, and he finds the solo kill once again with the Dominus.
Bit off a bit too much more than he could chew. Darius saw the, I guess, the incoming tower shots, and he's like, this is my chance, boys. And Dragon Blade just hit R and is like, yeah, no.
The flash forward. The Impale's available, and Valencia's flash will be traded for a Lights Out flash as the first Drake of the game is picked up by Rise eSports 9.5 minutes in. Second Drake is going to be an Ocean, but that Mountain is going to be really big, especially on this Renekton, who's 2-0 in the top lane.
Yeah, it seems like they're swapping out lanes because, as you can see, even though Sanctus does have that 2-kill lead, he has the double pickaxe plus the tier. He's going for the Manimune build into the Guinsoo's. Just wanted to get that sort of upfront damage even earlier than usual. He still is down quite a bit of CS. He's down 30 CS onto this Caitlyn. If he stays here in this lane any longer, it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to sort of secure the lead that he has coming into this to this mid game.
Yeah. And I do want to highlight it to me that's OP because, you know, if those dark bindings are so close to landing, but every time he uses one, he just about misses, and then Toxic Cat just switches on straight away and just jumps on him.
Yeah, it's like with those bindings, you have to be very careful about what you can get away with and what you can. And even on sort of lanes that you can see is more passive, like Kai'Sa Braum, you don't expect this to be a kill lane. You can just be, I guess, surprised by the damage that Kai'Sa can pump out once she gets her passes off with that flash W coming out from Sanctus earlier. So much damage in this. We saw earlier, Rift Herald picked up and spawned, getting these plays really early into the game. And definitely drawing a bit of pressure coming out from Valencia and OP.
But Rise eSports, they swapped their bot lane to the top side for that Rift Herald pressure. They picked up Rift Herald, and they will get themselves a few extra turret plates. And they'll take it down to 2 plates left as Dragon Blade is now in the bot lane as well. As Darius has switched over. And now both bot lanes are top side.
Yeah, if you're the side of US Army, you're definitely going to want to keep the lane matchups as they were. Not give Rise any more advantages that they would like. They definitely got 2 plates off of that, which is going to be beneficial, but stop the bleeding nonetheless. Speaking of which, Dragon Blade on that Darius picked up a BF sword. And it seems like he's going to go for that Shojin, but BF sword is one heck of a spike for Renekton.
Yeah. A Renekton that was already winning these trades. Darius is going to have to be careful because that's the all out and it goes the wrong way. Doesn't find the CZ. Dragon Blade looking to turn this around. Darius hops away, but Dragon Blade can look to go in. He slices and dice. Here comes a TP. Dominus comes out. Dragon Blade, what does he do? Does he go for the turret dive? How does he play this? Event Horizon is here. Oh my god! The ultimate finds the kill. Glacial Prison comes in. The suppression onto the Kai'Sa. It's a shutdown for Valencia as it's kills across the map for US Army. eSports, the Dark Binding will land. Can they make it 3? It's a good stopwatch from Toxic Cat, who's W's away to safety.
That was really close coming out from Toxic Cat. Barely makes that alive, but as we were saying, as the fight was starting out, you see that TP that was coming in from the bot side. Renekton had to pop the Dominus, but he just wasn't able to get close enough to the Veigar in time. And that ulti just one-shot him and then respectively up in the top lane. Can't really do much as Kai'Sa. Try to ulti out, but immediately gets taken in by that suppress. And you're pretty much good as dead at that point this early on.
But this is what we talked about, you know, the pick comp versus the fight comp. Right now, we're still in the early stages. Members are scattered around across the map as Toxic Cat getting very aggressive. Void Seeker's able to find his mark, but Sanctus does not want, well, doesn't have the killer instinct available. And Braum has no mana, to quote a certain Tyler 1, and Dragon Blade is here. That's a good Dark Binding, but Sanctus now potentially going to turn this around. The heal comes out from Talented to keep OP alive. Oh, the Kathleen Rain is big. I hate to break it to you, but the Black Shield will not stop any of that damage. Because I believe the Kathleen Rain is entirely AD.
Yes, it is. Void Seeker, though, entirely AP. Sadly blocked out by a minion before it could even land.
TP in from Darius. However, Rise eSports back off sensibly. No turrets have been picked up yet. But both top lane turrets are fairly low. And we've got an Ocean Drake spawning in 20 seconds. So this might be both bot lanes heading back bot side to have some priority.
Yeah, it would definitely make sense. Only thing they have to take into account is that if a fight does break out in there, Dragon Blade does have the TP advantage, and neither does Alacrity or Durus on the side of US Army eSports, so definitely going to have to watch out for that. And Durus, unless he has ulti, doesn't really have the CC to stop a TP if that turns out to be the case.
As Durus does hit the Mega Gnar form right now, which will mean if they start a fight, and he, well, he can't TP down anyway. Dragon Blade does have the Dominus available as well, and we've seen how big that was in the 1v1 trade earlier. Dark Binding not quite going to be able to find Toxic Cat. The Lights Out looking to rotate down. Dominus coming through from Dragon Blade. And he's going to get poked out. Now potentially looking to go back in. He's playing this very aggressive. Cut of the meat comes in. Is it enough? The hop forward. Doris finds the kill on a very aggressive Dragon Blade.
I think he overestimated how much damage he would have taken from that tower, and or just not anticipating the fact that his Dominus does have that AoE damage around him. And
oh, the Event Horizon finds a mark. Here's the Impale. Oh, the Primordial Burst is nutty as Alacrity picks up his second kill of the game.
That's going to be a free Ocean Drake, or at least I would assume, going over to this side of the US Army. I mean, pretty solid pick, as we mentioned, for that combo of just getting dragged into an Event Horizon this time, although it was a...
Oh, the flash forward, he finds the Impale, he finds the CZ, Event Horizon, it was a good QSS by Lights Out. Ace in the hole doesn't find enough damage. Also, Lights Out has a QSS already.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Earlier on, Lights Out got flashed on twice from Valencia. I'm pretty sure every time Valencia has had flash, he's flashed on a Lights Out, and Lights Out's had to respect that and flash away himself. Their CDs are pretty much linked at this point.
J Galaxy playing very aggressive, will take a lot of damage from that Infinity Edge on talented Caitlyn. But at the moment, everything looking very good for US Army. However, the gold is very even at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I think that's attributed more so to the plates that Rise are able to pick up in their early sort of skirmishes, or at least the early kills that they were able to get on top of the Rift Herald. Because the CS differentials aren't really doing them much favors, at least in the bot lane. It's kind of been sort of this, as we said before, Caitlyn had that humongous CS lead earlier on to the game. It's now sort of evened out at this point.
Oh, Valencia once more. He doesn't have the Impale available. Dominus is coming through as J Galaxy is here as well. Sonic Wave will find his mark. Resonating strike in, but a good stopwatch from Valencia. Can he potentially turn this around? Valencia burns the shield. J Galaxy will pick up the kill. Doris, as the Void Seeker actually landed, Doris, can he turn it around in the Megadol form? Couple more auto attacks would do it, but that's a really big W. Doris will almost die, but he stays alive. Sanctus picking up the kill onto Talented with the Cathian Rain. And now look at this, J Galaxy looking to come in from behind in the top lane. Can't find the Sonic Wave, but Dragon Blade will go in. It's a good hop in. Dragon Blade stays alive as the turret falls. First turret going over to Rise eSports.
And another turret as well over in the bottom lane, going over to Rise eSports. Kill picked up on the side by Alacrity, though. As we saw, Braum tried to go for the 1v1 as well. Did, in fact, get picked off. But as we see here, a lot of damage coming out from Dyrus right there, especially with the tower helping him out. Barely able to flash out in time, and in the meantime, with heal available, Talented does, in fact, get picked off by the Kai'Sa and the Braum. And then the rest is sort of seen here. Got the bind landing, free stun, easy peasy pick up for Alacrity right there. And then the tower goes down, and the top and in the bot lane, respectively. Gold lead sort of ramping up now for Rise, and a lot of their sort of core items are starting to get finished off of that back. Dragon Blade does in fact have Shojin completed. You do see Lights Out with the Luden's Echo after opting to go for that Merc Shreds and QSS early buys. So a lot of damage is going to be coming out from Rise relatively soon.
And just as I was saying, you know, gold very even Rise. They find so many kills in the top side of the map. They pick up the outer turret in the top and bot lanes. And now they have a 2.5k gold advantage. Dragon Blade looking very aggressive, will burn the Dominus. Surely he's going to go all in onto Darius. But no, Darius is going to be able to push a Dragon Blade back. Dragon Blade does have that Spear of Shojin, and you know, we were talking about item spikes. That most certainly is a spike for Dragon Blade. Dragon Blade, what are these ults from Darius? I do get what he's trying to, like, so many of them he's pulled out, and it's just, I haven't seen the purpose of it.
Well, yeah, for that one, I'd say it was a bit sort of off. I'd say probably was too afraid of Dragon Blade going in, as I would assume that his ultimate Mega Gnar was going to sort of...
Oh, the Flash Event Horizon coming in from Alacrity. Baleful strike in. Is it enough damage? Primordial Burst. Blocked a lot. Talented finds a kill onto Sanctus regardless. Glacial Fissure. The turret shot almost takes down Talented. Oh, but that's a great Impale. Valencia pulls back the Lee Sin. And it's going to be another kill for Alacrity.
Just that setup was so good coming out from Alacrity. These event horizons are all landing.
The primordial burst is already on a half cooldown. What is that cooldown on? Oh, that's an scatter of the week. Almost finding Alacrity. Could have been a little bit dangerous.
This man is still a nearly full mana after all that. It's like 3 event horizons thrown down, plus primordial burst, and he's all fine and dandy. It seems like they're trying to take another blue buff as well.
The red buff wasn't enough. However, Lights Out will just use the dark power.
Yeah, you know, just take a buff,
Force of will.
grab him by the buff, as I would say. But as we saw in that earlier fight, it's like those 2 event horizons were so good. That setup coming out and just being able to get those free stuns and just W onto them for the Caitlyn, get the trap set up early.
Valencia looking to go in. Winter Spike comes through. Scatter of the week prevents any engage. Sorry to cut you off there, Swift.
All good. But yeah, just the setup was really clean coming out from US eSports, US Army eSports, I should say. And at least you have Rise that were able to pick up the second Mountain Drake off of the resets coming out from US Army. You can only be so greedy. With stun lands, though.
We've got the Mountain Drake. We've got a 3rd Mountain Drake spawning in just over 3 minutes. So that could be massive for Grim at eSports, especially when, well, I say when, for the Baron, sorry, Rise Esports, as Doris gonna get engaged on, slice and dice for, but here's Talented to turn it around, the hop forward, Doris picks up the kill onto Dragonblade, and we talked about the Baron. Rise are looking for it. The Winter Spike comes out as there comes the boy, take a killer instinct straight in. It's me, that's OP, will be forced to sacrifice his life. Glacial Fissure will come through. This might be more kills than Rise were hoping to get, as there comes the resonating strike straight onto Talented. Talented looking to come back, it's a fair flash straight into the event horizon. Talented will get the double kill. Now Doris onto Sanctus, flash forward, Talented picks up the triple kill. Lights Out forced to flash away. The slow will come in. Scatter of the week comes out and it's a shutdown for Alacrity.
Very close on that triple kill coming out from Talented. That fight was just in such a good corridor, at least for Alacrity there. That's event horizon, as we mentioned before, you can just zone off so much of the fight coming in from that. See right here, Lee Sin trying to get on top of Talented, but it's just not going to work, and the poor failed flash caught again by the event horizon. Nowhere else to go, and then just the flash forward from both Talented just to pick up this kill, and then forcing the flash out of Center right here.
Oh, Talented. You might be getting caught out, however, the event horizon will come through. Ignite onto Talented, flash over the event horizon. Dragonblade is here. That's a good Void Seeker shutdown for Sanctus. And it's a second kill as well. J Galaxy picking up the kill onto Alacrity.
Bit overextended there, I should say. Definitely going into the enemy jungle, picking up as much as possible, but the gold lead is getting closer and closer to even at this point. Just has to anticipate the fact that Rise does have double mountain, and you just lost your main CC and your longest range carry coming into a potential Baron setup, and you got Dragonblade in the bot lane shoving out waves with TP. This Baron should be going down pretty quick.
Here we go. Baron has been started, as you mentioned. Alacrity and Talented can't do anything without their nice juicy front line. Toxic Cat looking to potentially turn it. TP comes in. That's a good force of will. And here comes the damage onto the Skarner. But they take down the Syndra. Now the focus potentially onto Dragonblade. Baron has been secured. Dragonblade will find a kill, but he will get taken out. Sanctus, they need to get out of here. J Galaxy doesn't have any wards. He's gonna get poked down. It's a shutdown for Talented. Are you kidding me? 4 kills for 1 as US Army turn it around. The final member with Baron is all on Sanctus. The ultimate is available. Alacrity will find the kill, and he will find the ace for US Army.
That Baron just got instantly wiped off the face of Rise right there. Can only do so much when there's only 2 people focusing down the Baron, and poor Rise right there trying to go for an early Baron take right there. Kind of bit them in the behind, I should say.
Toxic Cat gets hit by the Dark Biting. Glacial Vision will come out. Is it enough to save him? Doris looking to go in. He has the Boomerang, but he will be turned into Meganar. Ult comes out, but he will still get followed up by the Resonating Strike. Doris with the Overextend gets taken down.
Overextend for the support, at least in my experience, is never a good idea. But they've definitely gone more than enough for their troubles.
It's been quite a few overextensions and a back and forth game. 17 kills to 13. The gold practically perfectly balanced. 4 turrets to 2 in the favor of US Army. And now with a third Mountain Drake making its way onto the Rift, Rise Esports are well positioned to take this with a 5v4 advantage.
Yeah, Duris doesn't have the TP to come in. It's definitely what helped them out in terms of the Baron defense, or at least the Baron squashing, I should say, with the TP coming in from Malakri. They didn't expect them to come into the fight that early. And I think that's definitely what helped them out as far as taking the Barons off of everybody off the team of Rise. So,
Boychika misses its mark. Event Horizon comes out. Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike. It's OP is the focus. The dragon has been secured. Here comes the fight. And Nah has joined the fray. That's OP forced to back off. Built up a Peacemaker. Finds the kill. Sanctus with a kill. With the killer instinct. As there's a double kill onto the Kaiser. Fights all around the river. Valencia getting focused out. Ace in the hole will get tanked out by Toxic Cat. However, that's good. Event Horizon. The QSS gets used as the force of will, pushing Alacrity back. His lights out, looking just to escape for now, as it's 2 kills for 2.
Ooh, the stun lands.
However, is US Army are just going to push through in the mid lane? No, they're not. They're going to back. They already have the inhibitor, and they picked up the Drake. They got everything that they needed from that fight.
Yeah, Ariel pick up the Mountain Dragon. Jay just wasn't able to get into the pit fast enough, and once he did, the dragon had already been taken. And they just have to accept the fact that Valencia was spending a lot of work, at least in a lot of these fights, just being able to suppress a main damage threat in all these fights. First at the Baron, you had to deal with him on the side of Syndra, going for him, and Braum as well. Then Dragon Blade was sort of subdued for quite a while, and then, God forbid, if Kaisa gets picked up in one of these fights and dragged into an Event Horizon, that she's good as dead. So definitely have to keep in mind.
I've got some bad news, or good news actually, depending on how you want to look at it. Swift, you might just want to double click on that Veigar icon, because he's just completed his Rabadon's death cap, and oh my god, he has a lot of AP.
All right, let me just double check right here. Just let me look at it for myself. That is looking like quite a bit if I know my math. So, 843, definitely nothing to scoff at. I'm just waiting for the moment where he like autos somebody once and then ultis, and then it just kills him.
Wait, why is the auto needed?
I don't know. I mean, just so it isn't like a complete one shot. Just the slow and then just not a complete one shot.
Yeah, so you can say Veigar's not broken. It was a 2-shot. However, Dark Binding's land, as so will the Sonic Wave, as the Unleashed power prevented by the stopwatch. Killer Instinct in. Is it enough damage with the Acathian Rain? Yes, it is. Focus now coming through onto Alacrity, who gets taken down. You do not have a chance to use that ult, I'm afraid. 2 kills for nothing for Rise Esports. And now they can turn their attentions to this mid lane. There's a Baron up in just over a minute, but there aren't any objectives for Rise to take from that kill. So despite them getting those 2 kills, all they can do is just give themselves a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to push up into these super minions. At least if you're playing Kai'Sa Syndra, it's not as difficult as it could be on other champions, but you're not going to just cut through a Caitlyn and or a Veigar when it comes to trying to shove into them.
Yeah, and I'm starting to feel like maybe the issue here for US Army is they're trying to find more of these picks, but it's almost like they're forgetting that it has to be Valencia who's the one who finds those picks. And even if they get the picks, the team fight is just better from Rise Esports with the comp that they've drafted.
Yeah, I mean, it's more difficult for Rise to just sort of force a fight or at least get a pick off. The most you have is de-stuns coming out from either Syndra and or Dragon Blade.
Oh, the hop forward. Doris looking very aggressive. He's very close to Meganar, but he might die before he can get there. He will transform now as the ult does not find the wall again. And now Dragon's Blade, the QSS comes out. Slice and dice. Press the attack has been propped. One more engage could do it. The W is not enough. A wallop away, but it will not be enough to keep him alive as Dragon Blade finds the killer yet again onto Doris.
Yeah, the 1v1 potential coming out from Dragon Blade. I mean, you have Black Cleaver, you have Shojin. Once this man picks up a Merc Treads, it's not really going to be able to do much to him. And Duris, yet again, not being able to find the wall and the ultimate, get that extra damage coming out, it's definitely going to be difficult for him. He does have TP, though. Double stun lands.
So much damage coming out. Unleashed power was used by Lights Out on to Valencia. Sonic Wave coming through, but with a Vega solo will be forced to back. Dark Binding can't quite find his mark. Event Horizon. Oh, the Sonic Wave finds his mark. Will they follow up with a Resonating Strike? Because that's a good scatter of the week. But look at the Renekton in the bot lane.
Yeah,
Dragon Blade is already on the inhibitor. US Army cannot contest. Darius has turned up, but there is a big minion wave. The hop forward. Here comes the Dominus. Darius will be turning into Meganon now. Can he turn it around? No, he can't. Are you kidding me? Dragon Blade with the kill. Meanwhile, at the Baron. Baron has been started. TP's coming in from Vega. But look at the Renekton on the base. Glacial Vision's coming out. Baron's doing his work with the damage. Resonating Strike in. Jay will be able to be kept alive. Renekton still pushing. It's practically a base push right now. The QSS coming out from Lights Out. Oh my god. The killer instinct stops the ace in the hole. Scatter of the week finds Valencia. It's a double kill. Dragon Blade. He cannot be stopped. It's only the Morgana to defend. Dragon Blade will get taken down. But the base is destroyed. Baleful Strike will get the kill, and this is absolutely crazy right now, Swift.
Yeah, okay. That TPing from Syndra at almost no HP, I think they're a bit over ambitious as far as trying to end the game right there, but that push definitely, no, you can't understate that. That was pretty much 2 towers plus the Nexus, like the 2 Nexus towers and the inhib. This team is just now just wide open for any fight that they lose. They have a chance of losing the game outright from there. So
don't stop talking there, Swift. I need more time to recover.
More time to recover? I got you. All right. So then that Baron fight, though, I mean, it just extended for so long, and I was wanting to mention it, but they just kept that fight going on for so long. They were just delaying for this Renekton. And shout out to Dragon Blade, just double killing Duris on his own first time out, and then when he respawns back in at the inhib, he just gets him again.
I want to cut you off there, Swift, because Alacrity literally just sold his 10 stack Dark Seal to pick up a Blasting one, and I don't know why he wouldn't want to upgrade that to a Magi's.
I'm offended. I've never felt so offended in my life. Upgrade that to a Magi's if that was me, but I'd already died probably like 7 times this game, not gonna lie.
I mean, Alacrity's getting close. He has had 2 deaths as we get an Ocean Drake picked up for the side of Rise Esports. Elder Drake is the next one up. However, with a Mountain Drake, look at US Army burning through this Baron. They will secure the Baron, potentially a turn coming in. However, the Event Horizon will keep Rise back. They're going to be looking to get off those empowered recalls, but Rise are chasing them down. Can they stop anything? No, they cannot. The bot lane is the only lane that they have broken the base in, and that Baron will be a great delay tool for US Army to wait even longer for this Vega to get even more stacks. And Swift, I am too scared to click on Vega to find out how much AP he has right now.
I was about to mention, I'm like, do we check it now? Do we? Do we?
I mean, it'd be a spoiler, isn't it? You know, because then if we see, oh, he has like 1,200 AP, we expect him to one-shot someone. Whereas if we leave it and he one-shots, it's kind of more hype.
Yeah, speaking of the one-shots, I mean, you already have to anticipate the fact that Lights Out and Sanctus have both opted for the Banshee's Veil on top of the QSS. I was thinking more so that, okay, maybe Sanctus wants to go some AD build, grab the IE. He did, in fact, end up building the Zeal. But I think they realized quite often that this Veigar is going to be probably the main reason that they're going to win out these fights. And Kaylin already just sitting on 75% crit. She's got a bit of executioners while she's at it. She's no slack either. So definitely going to be interesting to see how they
Uh,
itemize for the rest of this.
The collapse potentially in the top side, because look at where Dragonblade is. He might be getting forced back as the Dark Binding will land onto J Galaxy, but potentially the slice and dice. Oh, Sonic Wave finds his mark. Here comes Resonating Strike. He gets hit by the Dark Binding, but Dragon's Blade is here. The dash forward. Glacial Prism finds his mark. Glacial Fisher, I do apologize. The ult in from the Kaiser. He finds the damage. He won't get taken down. Darius will fall. But look at the bot lane, because Alacrity thinks he's a split push champion right now. Valencia prevents the recall, and he will find the kill. Is this a base race right now? Valencia doing all he can to stop the backs, as someone has got back his Dragonblade. Look at Alacrity. Here's the damage. Oh my god, it's insane. Alacrity's on the Nexus. The minions are pushing. Is there anything they can do? No, there is not. US Army with an insane backdoor. Are you kidding me?
Split push Veigar with 1077 AP coming in and just demolishing Renekton, the poor soul.
What just happened?
I was thinking, okay, maybe,
oh my god,
maybe they can get something off. Kai'Sa is super low. Maybe Kai'Sa is going into the back, and yeah, Kai'Sa she'll be able to take care of the Veigar. I think. I hope, if you're the side of Rise, and then Skarner somehow is able to make it onto Kai'Sa. And I would think that if you guys are gonna stop this Veigar, you'd back as a group, not let your ADC off into the in the open, and Skarner just stalling that last back is all they really needed to end out this game, because who would have expected split pushing Veigar? Like
that was almost like, you know, when you play TFT and you get that level 3 Veigar, it's just like one-shotting everyone. Insanity. That game felt scuffed at moments, but by god was that entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. We can label this game the 1000 AP Veigar one shot. That's gonna be the one. That poor Renekton just caught into that event horizon. He could not do a single thing.
Well, MVP vote then. I wonder who we could possibly give this one to.
I mean, Talented did put in a good bit of work, but it's Caitlyn Morgana. I would expect that they do decently well coming out of the lane, especially into someone like Kai'Sa. But, I mean, Alacrity just did so much. There were so many fights that were won because of his event horizons, his flash event horizons. Yeah, you have Valencia putting in a good bit of work with those suppresses, but if you're going to have to pick someone that carried you throughout pretty much every portion of the game, it's got to be Alacrity here.
Well, Alacrity picks up our MVP. We're going to be heading into a short break. We're going to be back in just a couple of minutes as Lakeside Gaming take on Grim Legion eSports. They've got a lot to live up to if they want to beat the hype of this game. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.